They say some people are just born with it, as if success were a genetic gift, a golden ticket printed into their DNA. But look closer and you'll see the truth no one talks about, that greatness isn't inherited, it's assembled, piece by piece, mistake by mistake, day by day. Talent might be the spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps it alive. Behind every so-called natural, there's a graveyard of failures buried beneath their feet, unseen, uncelebrated, but essential. People love to admire the finish line. They don't see the bruised hands that built it. When the world calls someone gifted, they erase the decades of invisible work that made it look effortless. Kobe Bryant didn't just wake up with mastery, he created it, one pre-dawn practice at a time. Serena Williams didn't just serve greatness, she lived it in the dark when nobody was watching. Even Mozart, the symbol of natural genius, practiced for hours a day since childhood. What they call born with it is actually trained into it, and yet, so many people waste their lives believing they can't achieve because they weren't chosen. But the truth is, the chosen are just the ones who chose not to quit. High achievers share one secret, a clarity so sharp it cuts through fear. They don't just work hard, they work intentionally. While the world rushes blindly, chasing trends, they sit in stillness and define their why. That why becomes the compass that guides their every move, because when you know your purpose, every action carries weight, every sacrifice makes sense. Goals without purpose die in distraction, but vision with intention survives every storm. They see it before it exists. They live it before it's real. They design their destiny in detail before the world can recognize it. They know that clarity is power, because a blurred target is never hit. But purpose alone isn't enough. It must be protected by resilience, the armor of the few who refuse to break. The world thinks success is built on confidence, but the truth is, it's built on recovery, on getting up when your own reflection looks like a stranger, on standing tall when everything in you screams to stop. High achievers don't fear failure. They feed on it. They dissect every loss, every rejection, every moment of humiliation, not to drown in self-pity, but to extract the lesson hidden inside the pain. They know every setback is data, and data refines greatness. Every failure is a feedback loop whispering, try again, but smarter. The weak see pain as punishment, the strong see it as polish, and with each iteration, they evolve. They're not chasing perfection, they're chasing progression. They know that mastery is born from mistakes that refuse to die, and when chaos hits, when the plan crumbles, the economy crashes, the opportunities vanish, that's when the average frees. But the high achiever adapts. They are antifragile. They grow through disruption. When others panic, they pivot. When others complain, they calculate. They understand that control is an illusion, but response is a superpower. They don't wait for the storm to pass. They build their sails to ride it. They thrive on unpredictability, because chaos is just information in disguise, and those who learn to read it become unstoppable. Every high achiever shares this one belief, that the mind is the foundation of everything, your habits, your results, your legacy, and the way you think determines the way you act. That's why they guard their mental diet like their life depends on it, because it does. While the average consume noise, gossip, distractions, high achievers consume clarity. They fill their mind with growth, strategy, and self-awareness, because they know you can't pour greatness into a cluttered vessel. They understand that mental toughness isn't built in comfort, it's built in confrontation, confronting your fears, confronting your ego, confronting your excuses. Every time you silence the voice that says, "Not today," you build a stronger version of yourself, and that version compounds into resilience, confidence, and power. But here's the truth. They don't tell you. Even the greats doubt themselves. Even the legends feel fear. The only difference is they don't stop. They move anyway. They act despite the uncertainty, because faith isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to walk through it. The road to mastery is paved with confusion, exhaustion, and failure. But those who persist long enough find that pain transforms into peace, doubt turns into direction, and chaos turns into control. Greatness doesn't arrive in a single moment of victory. It's forged in 1,000 small ones, waking up earlier when no one's watching, saying no to distractions when it's easier to say yes, practicing when you're tired, choosing growth when you could choose comfort. These small acts of discipline stack like invisible bricks, and one day, you stand on top of them and realize you've built something no one can take away. That's the real definition of success. Becoming someone who doesn't need motivation to keep going. Someone who's powered by principle, not applause. And maybe you're watching this thinking you don't have what it takes, that you've wasted too much time, that it's too late. But let me tell you this. There is no expiration date on potential. You're not too late. You're just in the preparation phase. The silence you're in right now isn't punishment. It's the foundation. The season of obscurity is where real strength grows. And when your time comes, because it will, you'll be ready. You'll be the version of yourself that can handle the weight of what's meant for you. So stop measuring your journey by someone else's highlight reel. Stop chasing shortcuts, and stop waiting for the perfect moment. High achievers didn't wait. They started where they were, with what they had. And you can too. Your future self is watching, hoping you'll finally commit. Because the only thing standing between who you are and who you're meant to be is the courage to begin. So build your clarity, define your purpose, fall in love with the grind, embrace your failures, adapt to chaos, and keep moving. Because you don't need to be born talented. You just need to be willing. Greatness is never given, it's built, and today is your blueprint to start building.